Christopher Sarro, president of Holt Construction. I'm proud to announce that the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, in partnership with American Airlines, URW Airports, has announced a $125 million commercial redevelopment of JFK's Terminal 8. As the project's construction partner, Holt Construction is pleased to partner with URW to introduce our new information and technical assistance program designed to connect you to opportunities available across the 24-month redevelopment of Terminal 8, all part of the Port Authority's $19 billion airport redevelopment program that is transforming New York's airport system. Working with our partners at the Port Authority, American Airlines, URW, and Phoenix Infrastructure, we have designed a special series of programs that will help you learn more about the project, the business and contracting opportunities that are right for your company, and how your business can participate. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to partnering together.
Thank you for joining our session to meet the team working on our JFK Terminal 8 concession redevelopment project. I'm Jessica, and I'll be your moderator. And now let's introduce our panelists. Let's start with Rob.
Hi, I'm Robert Cruzan, Senior Project Manager with Holt Construction.
And now Joshua.
Thank you, Jessica. Joshua Mandel, Vice President with URW and Project Executive for the program.
Great. Now Robert Kipp.
Robert Kipp, Senior General Superintendent, New York Aviation, Holt Construction.
Rosie.
Rosie Klaj, Project Compliance Manager for Holt Construction.
And finally, Christiana.
Christiana Walterstorff, Assistant Project Manager for Holt Construction.
Great. So now let's move on to what the scope of the work is for our Terminal 8 concession redevelopment. Rob and Joshua, can you jump on that one for us?
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. The initial parts of the redevelopment will include 2 large ramp infills that'll increase our leasable square footage, as well as 2 moving walkway removals. Additionally, we'll be doing some concessions work, which I'll let Joshua speak about.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, from the tenant perspective, it will all be exclusively tenant work itself. What Rob just described is the capital work that URW and Holt are doing together. There are 60 plus stores that are tenant concession spaces, which will be done exclusively by the tenants and their tenant teams. We have some that are as small as 100 square feet, up to 500 or so. That's the smaller group. We have 500 to 1,000. We have 1,000 and up. Beyond that, we also have 2 major programs. We have a massive food hall undertaking to really bring a world-class selection of food and offer to the terminal in a beautiful format, and a whole duty-free suite of stores, which will be the other part of the main core of the program, and everything in between. As part of that too, it'll be different types of tenant work. Some will be literally from ground up. There's nothing in the space now. It'll be structure and all the work beyond that to create the concession. Others will be taking over existing spaces, which would be a full demolition, and then to build forward from there under the new program. There'll be new restaurants with roof work and penetrations, highly technical, and basic retail and such. And once again, everything in between.
Wonderful. Sounds extremely exciting. So now we know everyone's titles, but let's dive in a little more into what exactly you're overseeing on the project and how much support you'll be giving the contractors that are working on the project with us. So let's start with Rob Cruzan on that one.
Yeah, so the initial part that I discussed we'll be working on is the capital works. We'll also be doing some infrastructure associated with the new tenant work. As far as contractor support, communication and coordination are key to success of Holt Construction and our subcontract partners. We'll be looking to help them as much as possible with getting into the space, working around through the space, and keeping open lines of communication with the field teams to ensure that we have seamless execution of the project.
Great. And Rosie, can you tell us what you'll be overseeing on the project?
So I will be overseeing the compliance. So the compliance is all the paperwork and all the fun stuff that everybody doesn't like doing. However, I make it seamless and easy for the subs. So the subs will be in constant communication with me throughout the duration of the project. Monthly basis, I'll be sending out emails, making sure you guys are in compliance with ports requirements as well as Westfield's requirements.
Great. And how about you, Christiana?
I will be assisting the subcontractors with the submittal and RFI process. We will review project specifications and drawings to ensure that we are submitting the appropriate products for use. And I will also be assisting with reviewing any potential clashes on the drawings, along with Robert and the subcontractors as well.
Wonderful. And now, Robert Kipp, can you tell us what you'll be doing from a field perspective?
From a field perspective, my purview is logistics, access, security, safety, quality control, constructability analysis. Basically, if you have a problem, you can come to me and I'll help you solve it.
Wonderful. And Joshua?
As URW's project executive, I have the privilege of overseeing the whole project, specifically with Holt on the capital work. I will be shoulder to shoulder with everybody that you just met to make that all happen and to, again, thread it together in a seamless fashion. Additionally, myself, my team, URW, we oversee all the tenant design, permitting, development process itself. So heavily involved in every aspect of the tenant work itself. That's with oversight and rule enforcement. That's coordinating the tenants through the design, as I said, and the other steps along that to opening, working with their architectural engineering groups, their general contractors, the base building coordination across the boards, all the way through to the interaction, the administrative aspect with the Port Authority. Again, rules and regs are very important here to work with KIP on the logistics as far as getting everything in and out of the building itself, the personnel and the troubleshooting for everything we just mentioned across the boards.
Wonderful. Okay, so now I want you all to give me some examples of when a subcontractor or vendor, someone we're working with, would reach out to you directly for help or assistance. So Kip, can you give us some examples on that?
Sure, thank you. So I'll use a typical example where a subcontractor or a vendor has a piece of equipment or material that needs to make it into the building. They have no idea, it won't fit through the doors, it won't fit through the elevator. How are we going to access it? How is it going to be brought in? How is it going to be security vetted? Does it need to go through TSA? Does it need to go through one of the guard posts? Does it need to be brought in airside, brought through an A-way corridor? Does it need to be brought in at night through a sterile corridor under guard? I'll help and assist with determining the best course of action, meeting all the requirements, so that way we can still get the work done.
Wonderful. And Rosie, can you give us an example?
So usually what ends up happening is we have specific reports that are due to the port on a monthly basis. A lot of the time, there are some issues within those programs that the subs cannot fix themselves. So I am the point contact person for our subcontractors, their sub-tiers and their suppliers to Port Authority and to Westfield. So I am the messenger. When those issues do arise, I'm the one you guys come to, then I will handle it on the back end. And once everything's resolved, then I assist the subs with either explaining how to upload documentation or what needs to be done, or specific information that the subs have, but don't know what to fill out on these forms.
Great. And how about you, Christiana?
A typical example is when we have subcontractors who may want to use products that are not included in our specifications. So they would reach out to review the substitution request form process, and I assist them in making it seamless package submittal for the design team to review and approve or disapprove.
Wonderful. And Rob?
Thank you, Jessica. Yeah, as the senior project manager, I would be involved in the final bid leveling, contract awards, and award recommendations to URW. Beyond that, post award, when we're in construction, the majority of the correspondence will come through me. I should be copied on everything. I typically am involved in every step of the process, from submittals to RFIs to field operations. So my purview is kind of everything on the project. I like to be in open communication with all of our subcontractors and vendors at all times, so I know everything that's going on the project.
Wonderful. And last but not least, Joshua.
Well, as far as the capital work, I will absolutely, with reverence and respect and appreciation, say that I'll be working with and through the fine Holt team. In that case, I'd be more of a client rep and working seamlessly to make sure that we all get where we need to together, but deferring to the expertise of everybody you just met along those lines. Regarding the tenant work, I have a whole development team as part of URW that will be the shepherd, the North Star for all the tenant work. That's to guide and clarify and support and troubleshoot as needed. Subs inherently will work through their general contractor, to be clear on that, but we are always accessible as needed to mostly bring clarity to the GC to then cascade down to the subs, but available as needed across the boards on every aspect of the redevelopment.
Wonderful. And I think you touched on this a bit, but can you expand a little bit and just, Joshua, tell us how you at URW and Holt are going to work together on this project?
Absolutely. First of all, very, very happily and very excitedly, because we have a long-standing relationship together, and this is a fantastic project. So 100% engagement on every aspect of both the capital work and, as I said, on the tenant, where, let me be clear too, Holt is the tenant, is available for tenant work too, but I'm speaking specifically with the capital work when it comes to Holt. But across the boards with all the tenant general contractors and subs and specialists, again, that is full engagement with URW. For the Holt piece, we support, we rely on, and we partner with everything that we work together on. I'm sure with Rob Kipp, there's going to be a big portion of that with the logistics. We'll have communal dumpsters. We'll have the difficulties with the loading in, loading out, personnel, materials, you name it. We'll have a touch in that, but with deference to the Holt expertise.
Wonderful. And now I want to talk a little bit about how we manage milestones and deadlines on the project. So Rob, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. Managing milestones and deadlines is critically important to the project. We'll have intermittent milestones that are going to be included in the subcontractors' subcontract agreements. Those milestones have to be maintained throughout the duration of the project. They typically have a knock-on effect when milestones are missed, so we do take those very seriously and do everything that we can to assist the subcontractors with their procurement and ensuring that they have materials on site, on time, ready for installation.
And Kip, can you just elaborate a little bit on that for as far as the field side goes?
So there'll be base logistics plans, but there'll be special considerations based on each of the general contractors and in the tenant fit outs that all needs to be incorporated into one program, logistic plan and phasing plan that pays special attention to all the security requirements, because there's 5 different levels of security that we'll be working in depending on the areas. We have to keep that in mind.
Wonderful. So I just want to thank you guys for joining and explaining all of this to us. As we could see, there's a lot of intricacies with working in the airport, but our team is here to help you every step of the way, whether you've worked in an airport before or not. And we're going to have more sessions in the future on other ways that we can help you along in the project. But thank you for joining. And now we're going to go over to our live Q&A. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our session. So we're going to jump into some live Q&A that we have. So this first question, I'm going to throw to you, Rob, and Joshua, you might have some input, but for the stores and the food hall, are there going to be signage opportunities for MWBE signage, design and build firms? Is there an overall signage scope for T8 branding, fabrication and install?
I'll go ahead and take that one. Absolutely 100%. There are signing opportunities for wayfinding. There will be signage opportunities for the actual concessions and the representation of the food brands all through the program. But yes, specifically for the food hall, all the above and then some.
Okay, great. Next question is, I have yet to receive the application to certify my firm with Holt Construction. What's the best way to expedite that? So I would say email info.t8@rfwconsultants.com. Let them know you're looking to pre-qualify with Holt, and they will get that over to us and we'll get you set up. How can we get the RFP for safety, site safety management? Rob, can you take that one?
Yeah, I'm not sure that there would be a specific RFP for that. That would again be a info T8. Let you guys let us know what you guys do. It'll get your information in front of the right people. And if we do outsource the site safety management, we would be able to reach out to those contacts again. So it's the info T8@rfwconsultants.com.
Yes, and I'm probably going to say this a couple of times, but I would encourage everyone to go to the new JFK T8.com. There's an intake form on there where you can check off everything that you're interested in. So this way RFW can make sure they get you to all the right people. So it might be us, but it might also be some other tenants and whatnot. So they'll get you to all the right places. Okay, will the third tier subs get a list or invites from the second tier general contractors who awarded projects? And can we put in our portion of the particular trade bid with them before the GC actually puts in their bid? So Rob, will we be able to give out a list of basically the contractors who are awarded so third tier subs can bid with them?
I'm honestly not 100% sure how that would work. Usually you would have your subcontractors that you would go to for third tier bidding. We would specifically reach out for our RFPs for the major trades. Anything that's subcontracted under them is typically on the subcontracted trade to reach out and get those bids. We could certainly provide a bid list of who we're bidding to. So again, info T8, and if you're, bidding to electrical contractors or HVAC, we could give you a list of those subcontractors that we're reaching out to.
And we will most likely do a session once we start awarding work we'll have on the larger subcontractors, and they'll give out their information so you can reach out directly to them and try and work with them. Will there be a need for special inspections on this project? Joshua, do you know that one?
I'd say absolutely. I don't have a list in front of me, but as with any large project, there would be certain special inspections that would be clear during the design and permitting phase, and certainly at the pre-con. So there'll be no mystery to that, but consider any possible special inspections will come into play depending on the designs as they move forward.
And Joshua, I think, oh, go ahead, Rob, sorry.
There'll also be special inspections throughout the course of the project. Those are hired directly by the owner, not the GC. So that again needs to go to info T8. Let them know what you do. Also go on the website and register your company and make sure that we know what you guys do and offer special inspections, because those are hired directly by the owner.
Great. And Joshua, I think this is kind of a question about the overall project. Will the stores come in packages to bid on?
Well, that's through our leasing department. So there will be packaging that goes on. There'll be standalone opportunities, and it's a very dynamic process, which we're very much very far along on the setup and such. But until we finish all the outreach, which is part of this process, we won't have a full list of potential individuals for these stores. So that's yet to be determined. But yes, a mixture of standalones and packaging and all of the above.
Next question piggybacks off that a little bit. Will the team facilitate connections with the tenants for their design work, whether it's going to be ground up or existing spaces? So I will say our plan is once the tenants all pick their GCs, we're going to do sessions with the tenants and the GCs that they picked. So they will give out information about the specific bidding on that. But we will do sessions for all of the tenants that are working. So you guys will have the opportunity to bid on those spaces and get more information on that. Okay, I'm an SDVOB construction material supplier. I missed last week's meeting and would like to be put in contact with whoever handles material takeoffs. Okay, so for that one, again, email info T8@rfwconsultants.com. Let them know that. They're going to get them, they will get you over to us, and we will put you in contact with who handles that, the material takeoffs for us. And just as a side note too, if you do go on the website, you can also watch past sessions if you were not able to attend them live. What's the process for applying for concessions retail location? Joshua, do you know? That's handled with the leasing department, I would presume.
You're absolutely correct on that, yes. And leasing is doing outreaches themselves. But if you actually contact and email to RFW, they are doing a catch-all for any opportunities for all disciplines. And part of what they provide is the system to get that into the right hands.
Great. We provide resources such as construction PMs, schedulers, inspectors, and we're a WBE that's 23 years old. Who do we reach out to? So Rob, who would they reach out to for schedulers, inspections, and whatnot?
Again, that would be registering your company on the website and making sure you know what we know what you guys do. That'll get the information into our hands in case we need to outsource any of this work.
Great. And the next one, how can my engineering firm pursue opportunities for the fit out projects? You want to take that one, Rob?
That would be more of a Joshua one. That would be something that the individual tenants would hire themselves. So that tenant information would need to go out for bid to their design firms. So Joshua, if you wanted to add to that.
Absolutely fine, yes. And as with so much else on this project, because we've set up the comprehensive website with the business opportunities, and also we do have RFW as very much a group that's set to direct people in the right into the right bucket. Please stick with the website. Please stick with the registration on the website in order to make sure that you get into the right hands. That's for all disciplines and all opportunities.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, on the website, the new JFK.com, under opportunities, you'll be able to fill out an intake form and you'll be able to write in, what certifications you have, what are your business interests, et cetera. And like we said, RFW will then get you to all the people that you need to. So there might be multiple people that need your information, so they will handle getting that all around. How are you guys managing who will be the tenants for the concessions? Will you need any realtor services? Joshua, you want to take that one?
Well, the same as we said on other opportunities, please register and our team will reach out as needed if we do have voids to fill, but we have a very active and a full department that is in charge of leasing. So please just make sure that you're a known entity, and if they have need, they will reach out.
Great. Will there be MWBE opportunities for recruiting, staffing, and janitorial services? Rob, you want to take that one?
Again, register your company on the website. Let us know what you guys do. And again, if we outsource any of that work, janitorial, I don't think so. The terminal handles the majority of that work themselves. But any outsourced staffing would be good to know about. So please let us know through the website.
Are there any opportunities for architects and designers to be included on Holt's pre-qualified list? So Rob, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we would employ the architects and the engineers, but you should fill out the intake form because they can get you over to URW.
Agreed.
I'll add to that because yes, the tenant projects themselves, and let me stress this, the tenant projects are standalone. The owner, as Rob referred to them, would be the tenant in this case. So the tenant will be bringing their complete design group or needing to acquire the professionals that are needed to complete the projects. So for any discipline, whether it be construction or the drawing or the engineering along those lines, all of the above are opportunities that we're collecting. And for the tenants that do not have their set staffs or their set professionals with them, that will be very much a spot for them to go to and to find and make matches in order to go forward.
Great. Is there going to be an art program for T8? And if yes, where can they find out more about it?
I'll take that one too. And absolutely, there's an art program. And we're in the midst of exploring what will be needed and where that will go. So this is going to be quite redundant, folks, but I'll say to please register at the website. We absolutely have opportunities. Yes.
Great. How do we go about receiving drawing and bidding on the jobs? Rob, you want to take that one?
So yeah, ensuring that you are registered with Holt Construction and that you're pre-qualified with Holt. That's who we typically send our bid packages to. So email info-T8 if you are not currently pre-qualified with Holt Construction. We'll get you into that process and make sure that your company gets pre-qualified. Once you are pre-qualified, you will go onto our bid lists for your specific trade.
Wonderful. And we're going to do some sessions coming up on as the bid packages are coming out, so you guys can be more aware as things are dropping. Who should and how would an MWBE security guard firm submit its proposal of intent or capability statement? So again, with that, you're going to want to email info-T8@rfwconsultants.com. Also fill out the intake form on the website and they'll get your information over to everyone that it applies to. So let's do, where can we find information about the tenants occupying the space so that we can establish direct connections with them?
We will not be posting a list of tenants. This would be a situation where you would register as a business and the tenants would proactively reach out upon their needs, but we're not providing an open list for people to solicit directly to them.
Okay, will office supplies be bid? Rob, you want to take that one?
No, that's not something we would directly bid out.
Okay, and again, though, definitely fill out the intake form because there could be a need for us, for one of the tenants, for anyone. So again, they'll get you to the right place. Are you anticipating punch lists for metal, stone, woodwork, and general painting?
Not sure I understand the question, assuming there would be punch lists, but yes, there are always punch lists when you complete a project. I'm not sure what the firm specifically does, but if it is completion of somebody else's punch list, which is what the question sounded like, I doubt those services would be needed. It would be something that we would do directly with subcontractors, since they owe that through their subcontract agreement.
Okay, great. Christiana, I'm going to throw this one to you. So if someone's working on our job and they have safety questions, who's the best team member for them to reach out to?
If someone has safety questions, they can reach out directly to the Holt safety officer that will be assigned to the project. They can also reach out to Robert Kipp, our senior general super, or myself or Robert to elevate the question to the correct people.
Great. And then another one for you, Christiana. If a sub is working on their job and they're not sure how to create an AIA bill, who would be the best person on the project team to contact?
The best person would be the project accountant. If the sub has any issue contacting them, again, they can elevate through me or Robert, and we will ensure that they are connected to our PA.
Wonderful. And just so you know, when you guys are working with us, you'll meet the whole team right off the bat. You're probably going to have plenty of emails for them, so you should know who to contact. But you know, when in doubt, you can always go to Christiana and Rob, and that goes for all our projects, the APM or the PM.
And we'll have a dedicated project accountant specifically for each project that Holt undertakes. So once we hire subcontractors, we'll put you in contact with the correct person.
Perfect. And I believe that is all the questions we have. Oh, sorry, one more just came through. What software will we be using to coordinate RFIs and submittals? Christiana, you want to take that?
We typically use Procore systems. If a sub has any questions or needs a walkthrough using the system, I'm more than happy to help and set up a team session or a quick phone call to review the submittal and RFI process.
Wonderful. Okay, last one now. We're in the process of signing a CBA with our trade union. Can we still start our Hope pre-qualification as it's in process of planning stages? 100%. Start your application. There'll be plenty of places in there where you can note that, just so we're aware, but definitely get started on the application. Don't let that hold you up. Just want to mention again the email info.t8@rfwconsultants.com and the new jfk.com. Definitely use both of those resources. Fill out the intake form, email RFW. They will get your information to all of the right places. And I just want to remind everyone we'll have another event next Thursday, August 31st at 12 p.m. And that's one is going to be on financials with Holt Construction. And we're going to dive a little deeper into all the financial statements you need to provide to pre-qual, how to do that, what resources you need, and those sorts of things. So thank you again to my panelists for joining and helping out. And thank you to everyone in the community for joining. And we will see you again next week.